In K-biz, love is rarely simple. Fame magnifies everything: joy, pressure, rumors, and sacrifice. For female stars, choosing marriage often means choosing courage. Courage to step away from constant scrutiny. Courage to protect something real in a world built on illusion. These are not fairy tales written for the camera. They are love stories built quietly through patience, trust, and timing. Today we revisit the weddings of K-biz women who didn't just say "I do." They chose a life where love stands beside fame, not beneath it. Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-a. A love that survived silence and finally chose forever. For years, their love existed quietly, without headlines, without spectacle, without promises spoken out loud. And then on December 20th, they chose forever. Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-a officially became husband and wife, closing one of the most emotional, enduring love stories in Korean entertainment. Their journey didn't begin with fairy tale drama. It began in 2015 with two actors choosing privacy over noise, and it was tested in 2017 when Woo-bin was diagnosed with cancer, a moment that could have ended everything. Instead, it revealed everything. Shin Min-a stayed, not publicly, not performatively, but completely. She stood beside him through treatments, silence, and uncertainty when fame meant nothing and survival meant everything. Years passed, he healed, they grew stronger. And the world watched, quietly, as one of K Entertainment's most respected relationships endured without ever asking for validation. Their wedding on December 20th wasn't flashy, it wasn't loud, it was exactly like their love. Private, grounded, unshakable. This isn't just a celebrity marriage, it's a reminder that real love doesn't rush timelines, doesn't need constant proof, and doesn't disappear when life gets difficult. Some couples fall in love on screen. Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-a built theirs off camera and carried it all the way to forever. Hyun Bin Son Ye-jin, when destiny was written long before the cameras rolled. Some love stories feel scripted. Theirs felt inevitable. Before Crash Landing on You became a global phenomenon, before chemistry broke the internet, before fans started whispering "this feels real," Hyun Bin and Son Ye-jin had already crossed paths. Again, and again, and again. They met as colleagues, they reunited as co-stars. And somewhere between quiet glances and unspoken understanding, fate stopped pretending. Their relationship wasn't born in scandal, it grew in familiarity, in comfort, in the rare kind of trust that only comes when two people have lived long enough to know what they don't want anymore. When their relationship was confirmed in 2021, the industry didn't gasp, it smiled. And when they married in 2022, it didn't feel like a celebrity wedding. It felt like closure. Son Ye-jin, a woman who had carried countless romances on screen, finally chose one off it. Hyun Bin, long admired, long guarded, finally chose to be seen not as a star, but as a partner. Their wedding was elegant, intimate, and grounded, surrounded by people who had watched their journey not as idols, but as adults choosing peace. This wasn't a fairy tale about timing. It was a story about waiting until love felt safe. Some couples burn brightly and fade. Hyun Bin and Son Ye-jin arrived quietly and stayed. Rain and Kim Tae-hee, love that chose faith over flash. When two of Korea's biggest stars fell in love, they didn't turn it into a spectacle. They turned it into a sanctuary. Rain was global fame, relentless schedules, and idol pressure. Kim Tae-hee was elegance, intellect, and quiet strength. They dated privately, they endured public scrutiny, and when they married in 2017, they chose simplicity. A small church, handwritten vows, no excess. Their love wasn't about proving anything, it was about grounding each other. After marriage, Kim Tae-hee stepped back to become a mother. Rain stepped forward as a father who spoke openly about gratitude, growth, and humility. This wasn't a love story fueled by passion alone. It was built on belief, patience, and shared values. In an industry obsessed with noise, Rain and Kim Tae-hee chose peace, and that choice has lasted. Taeyang and Min Yo-rin. When an idol chose one love and never looked back. Idol romances are supposed to be temporary. Taeyang proved they don't have to be. When he met Min Yo-rin on a music video set, there was no scandal, no drama, just quiet certainty. He didn't hide her, he didn't waver. And in an industry where temptation is constant, Taeyang stayed unwaveringly devoted. Their 2018 wedding felt like a celebration of sincerity. Intimate, emotional, deeply personal. Fans didn't feel betrayed, they felt proud. Min Yorin never competed with his fame. She complimented his calm. And Taeyang never treated marriage as a pause in his career, but as its anchor. Their love story isn't loud. It doesn't chase headlines. It simply exists, steady, loyal, unshaken. Jo Jung-suk and Gummy. A love that thrived away from the spotlight. Some love stories don't need to be seen to be real. Jo Jung-suk and Gummy dated quietly for years. No public performances, no social media displays, no carefully curated moments. Just two artists who understood each other's silence. When they married in 2018, many fans were surprised. Not because it was shocking, but because it felt so genuine. Jo Jung-suk built his reputation on versatility and sincerity. Gummy built hers on emotional honesty and soul. Together, they formed a relationship untouched by industry expectations. They became parents, they protected their privacy, and they continued creating, separately but supported. This wasn't a love story meant for headlines. It was meant for life. Park Shin-hye and Choi Tae-joon, childhood friends who chose forever. Some loves don't arrive suddenly, they wait. Park Shin-hye and Choi Tae-joon knew each other long before romance entered the picture. Friends first. Trusted companions. Two actors growing up under the same industry pressure. When their relationship became public, it felt gentle, not dramatic. And when they announced their marriage in 2022, it felt right. Their wedding was warm, sincere, filled with quiet joy rather than grandeur. Soon after, they became parents, stepping into a new chapter without fear, without spectacle. Park Shin-hye returned to acting with new softness. Choi Tae-joon spoke openly about responsibility and gratitude. This isn't a love story about passion alone. It's about timing, trust, and choosing each other when the noise fades. Jang Dong-gun and Ko So-young, when two legends chose a quiet forever. There was a time when their names alone defined an era. Jang Dong-gun, the face of classic Korean masculinity. Ko So-young, elegance, confidence, and star power at its peak. When they married in 2010, it wasn't just two celebrities getting together. It felt like two legends choosing to step out of the spotlight together. After marriage, Ko So-young gradually stepped away from acting, not because she had to, but because she chose to. Family became the center. Privacy became the priority. Jang Dong-gun continued acting, but differently. More selective, more grounded. As a father, as a husband, his image softened without losing its strength. Their love story isn't loud. It doesn't chase relevance. It stands quietly. Proof that sometimes the most powerful couples don't need to be seen often to be deeply respected. Yoo Ji-tae and Kim Yo-jin, love built on values, not headlines. Some couples fall in love through passion. Others, through principles. Yoo Ji-tae and Kim Yo-jin met as artists, but bonded as thinkers. Both known for intelligence, activism, and social awareness, their relationship was never about glamour. It was about alignment, morals, vision, and the kind of world they wanted to build. They married in 2011 after years of quiet dating. No scandal, no rush, just certainty. Together they speak openly about sustainability, education, and raising children with empathy. Their family life reflects intention, not performance. In an industry built on image, Yoo Ji-tae and Kim Hyo-jin chose substance. Their love story doesn't trend, it endures. Han Gaeun and Yoon Jung-hoon, love that waited then endured. Han Gaeun married young, too young, some said. At the height of her fame, she chose marriage in 2005 and stepped into a decade of quiet patience, facing public pressure, rumors, and deeply personal struggles with grace. Motherhood did not come easily, but when it did, it changed everything. After welcoming her children, Han Gaeun returned, not as the unreachable beauty of the past, but as a woman softened by waiting, strengthened by survival. Her laughter feels freer now, her presence warmer, her choices intentional. This is not a fairy tale love story, it's a long one, and that's what makes it real.